that 9-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to like it again now that I know that other people have heard it. That part of my brain
muted?
goes in and
For life.
yeah. I mean, we just it's just all of the.
In the same bed, remember?
Well, hold on. All these graphics.
Who did those? They're wonderful.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified.
Did you trace those? You traced those.
Kenny's
he's
chasing them
making
around.
Himself sneeze.
Grab the get notified thing, Kenny. Get it.
Floofy squirrels here.
Jump up. He's like, what are these crazy things floating above my head? I like, yeah. Subscribe to the
Kenny.
seeds. And get notified about squirrels.
He did scare off all the birds. I don't know if you guys saw the flock of birds that we had this morning. That's become normal all day long. It's annoying.
He does not care about the birds at all. He just sits and just bird watches.
Well, the cats do. He cares about the birds too. They move.
Why'd you take away the kitty tower now? If they get over there, they can't see him.
Well, because I had to get over to put seeds out. Because it's Floofy Squirrel. This is like our most loyal, other than the one that has the skin problem. This is the regular. Remember, he wasn't coming around until like 4 p.m. And now he's like,
yeah.
I see people. I'm coming over. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Sorry we were a little bit late. We were over in Lonnie's stream supporting lots of weird stuff yesterday. So just to put it out there, we're gonna talk. There was some pretty serious things actually said yesterday that's warranting us to speak out a little bit and kind of advocate for ourselves a little bit, and that'll be done in a separate live. But oops, what's wrong? Oh, we gotta get a different mic.
No, I'm saying, what were you saying? I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said that we'll address whatever we need to, or that we will address some of yesterday in a separate live.
Oh, you mean where we've got? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm suffice it to say, guys, like I'm fed up, and I actually haven't tuned in much, but yesterday I think might have been the first time I listened through a full live. Well, maybe not even full because it was after we were off air. So I missed the first part. In probably 5 months over at Natty Dinners, and it was disturbing to say the most. So that is my bad because it's clearly escalated, and she's like on a whole other plane at this point. And she clearly is just like operating blind. I don't argue with or pretend to know the logic of people that are that way, but yeah, it's caused me to look back and I'm like, grossly underestimated her level of obsession, threats, misinformation, slander. I mean, I could keep going and going. Suffice to say, at this point, you guys, I find it disturbing. It's disturbing. It's unwarranted. It's bothersome. It's unwanted. It's creepy. It's scary. And I will take action, So I'll talk to the community more about that. Like I said, separate live where people understand what it is I'm going to be talking about. But when she's talking about coming out to my neck of the woods, how about this? Like, I value my own family enough to start to take that shit seriously. Mm-hmm. So, but we're going to talk about the other news from yesterday because we've been preoccupied with this Murdaugh trial, and I could not believe this. I got this text from Rose. We weren't even done watching through argument. Jessica did voices. Yeah, I'll talk to you more about it later. I'll catch you. I'll give you a call or something after this and fill you in where it's at. I just like, a lot of people are kind of in the same boat where they don't watch her. They don't bother. It's like they know she lies and she's just full of it. Now her and her like cronies have built themselves up to a whole other level, and they have people like Nina narrates and Snuffles, like
Snother Fluffles.
Yeah. Feeding in. So she thinks she knows a lot of what she's talking about. She doesn't. You know what I mean? And it's projection. There's a lot of projection. It's interesting, actually. But guilty. And in no time. So I get this. We weren't even done watching through like yesterday's closing arguments and the rebuttal and all that. And Rose texts us to be like, there's like activity in the courtroom. And I'm thinking, well, that's no big, that's no big. They're going to convene for the, they've been deliberating. They'll convene for the day. And then like 2 minutes later, she's like, verdict. And I'm like, what? That was fast. So fast. And I was a little nervous. I've only gotten through half of the state's rebuttal. And I can see, even just with the first 30 minutes, how it might have put it all back into perspective for those jurors. But the first thing, so of course, the first thing I'm thinking is, I'm like, it has to be guilty, right? There's just no way they went back there, because it's not super uncommon based on, you know, jurors that have spoken out afterwards and things like that. So I'm just basing this off of what we know of juries, because we don't always end up privy to how deliberations have gone and things like that. But it's not uncommon that you hear that they might do a little bit of dialogue, but generally early on,
yeah, it wasn't even a full 3 hours.
Yeah, it was just under. But it's like, there's this kind of they've gone so long not being able to discuss it even amongst themselves, that they do tend to like poll early on, where it's like, let's just see where everyone kind of loosely stands right now. And I'm going, is it even possible that they all went back there and based on, because I'm like, it had to be based on that loose poll. And just like they did in like OJ, and then they, you know, had a couple people that are like holdouts, and then, you know, who else? Casey Anthony's jury purportedly did the same thing. Scott Peterson's jury. So I'm just going off of juries that have, like, there's been either people that speak out after, you know, kind of higher profile ones that people have heard of. Peterson's jury, once they went through their alternates, they did a poll and everyone was on the same page, and they literally only deliberated because they're like, oh, this looks bad if we just come out right now. And I think that's what went through my head, is I'm like, is it possible that they did that and are like, every single one of them is like, nope, not guilty. Oh, right. Well, but we better deliberate a little longer.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too, Sugar Beet.
And so I'm going like, I'm like, it's got to be guilty. But I was a little nervous, you know, because I hadn't even seen how the day had played out yet. I didn't think the defense closing was super spectacular. I felt like both of the closing arguments in chief were pretty repetitive to how the trial had gone. But now I'm dying to be able to watch the second half of that rebuttal, because I mean, he just, like, I got chills at one point, because he's talking about, he's like, listen, his family just got killed. Is he, you know, two members of his family, by the way, right? Where he's like, if it's the boating accident or whatever, you know, what would that have to do with Maggie? You know, but he's like, the point is, you have two members of your family you just stumbled onto. You only have an hour window by your own admission that they came. So were they laying in wait? What was the deal? What's your first call? To your other son, not to say, hey, Buster, there's things going on. Are you with your girlfriend? Stay there. Someone's coming after a family. Doesn't call back to his mother's that he just left, this vulnerable woman, to be like, oh my gosh, you know, get the police over there with Ma. Someone's coming after our family. Like, nothing like that. And in the way he delivered it, I was like, woo, it's like, finally, somebody's like drilling these points home. So I can't wait to watch the last half of it. It was really good craft, and you're going to like it. But guilty. I put a community post up. I was like waiting for my screenshots, right? And I was thinking it was going to be Alec that I wanted the face reaction of. But it's actually when they went in on Buster, and I'm like, woo.
And his irises dilated to complete darkness.
Yeah, shit's over, man.
He has stepped up and taken his father's place.
Above the law is
Emperor's side.
Over. I mean, they have other things open now, and I'm just like, Stephen Smith, yo.
He's like, look here, bus. You got to get a fucking degree now, son.
Well, listen.
Pass bar.
Well, for what? The Murdaugh name is not the same anymore.
Get out.
Crafton.
He needs free lawyering.
It's serious.
He can't afford
that whole
now.
shield of protection is gone. You know what I mean? And so when Voices was up here, I think maybe the second day we were talking about this, and I had said, I'm like, it's not scientific by any means, but it's like the more you watch interviews with people, the more I'm like, well, at least the people they're choosing to interview are communicating some sort of resentment in the community, or understanding at least. that these people are like rich and above the law, and they are the law, and it's like
community anger.
And I had, well, not anger, but it's like,
I'm just
how identifiable is that, right? How sympathetic is that it's like, oh geez, you've gotten out of trouble all these times. I mean, there's just so much. I can't believe that they didn't change the venue. I mean, that's but they didn't. And so this quick verdict to me, I'm like, well, first of all, what a strong message. But the very next thought is I'm going, yeah, can you guys imagine? Even if it never affected you, if you live in a town, and for those that do live in small towns, I've certainly lived in like my dad's in a small southern town, but it's like, if you have like that one sort of power, person that you hear about all that, and it's just, there are always some sort of stories, some sort of lore about these kind of nefarious things going on, but they're above it.
Nefarious.
Yeah, it's like, what happens when you're in that jury seat? Now, that I'm not saying that they were prejudiced.
See what Brandy said. The one juror said that it was the phone video of Alex being at the scene that sealed the deal.
Oh my gosh! Like,
well, it disrupts. But here's the other thing: I didn't fucking realize until we watched that stuff last night.
Yeah.
On the behavior panel, they were, they did 2 where they did the one, some of the trials, and I'm sure there'll be a third, so they'll have a nice little trilogy. But he went into such fucking detail in the car with the initial officer about how he checked so much shit, tried to roll the body over, but left to where it did all this, and tried to call 911 off the son's phone, and like, and then I was like, I gotta go get my phone, and went to all these. But then on the stand, he's like, I never said that.
Well, he got caught in one. Stick with what Brandy said and what you said, and I'll kind of that out too. But they weren't allowed to take notes. So as I was like thinking out loud to Crafton after the verdict came in, I'm like, I wonder, that. Okay, I'm just gonna, listen. Waters he's a good lawyer. Okay, so I had no problem there. It's just for me personally, and again, I have ADD, but he gets kind of into minutia. There were some. And I'd have to back it up a little bit. We have the luxury of looking at videos and all these other things. These poor jurors couldn't even. That's what I was kind of expecting. I'm like, there's going to be something that they're going to want to either see again, ask, because that's what I thought the motion in the courtroom was. We're like, maybe. No, it was the verdict, But so all they're left with when they go back there is their impressions. They're going back with just the takeaways.
Yeah, but you were going to say how the guy summed up the.
Yeah, and so what he did, though, first let me go back to Brandy's. That doesn't shock me at all about the video, because that was the big lie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The way, what's his name? Mulder. I want to say James Mulder. Anyway, Mulder's the one who did the rebuttal closing. He drilled home obstruction. He's not trying to protect his family. He literally goes into obstruction of justice mode.
It calls Buster
by
first.
Not admitting that he was at the kennel.
Mm-hmm.
By lying.
The same crap he pulled at the hospital when he's running around to all the kids and saying, everybody say that you don't know who was driving.
Well, in the incident you're talking about is that he got caught on the stand with the discrepancy.
I don't believe that was a lie.
Did you check? So you checked pulses and so you only had this amount of time. For the first time, he's like staring at, like, this is such a ridiculous statement that in 17 seconds you did all this. And he's like, no. I believe, if I remember that dim,
that was
that. I believe it to be true.
111 first.
I might have nothing much was happening there, and then I went back and
called 911.
And then footage. He's sitting in the car, and not only only is he positive that he checked them before this.
He did all kinds of shit.
He's talking about all this
Planted
shit.
sunflower seeds and
right down to, hey, his cell phone came out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And I actually picked it up thinking maybe I'll call
from this one, but it wasn't working.
Pretty freaking detailed.
Yeah.
To just suddenly go back and be like, no, wait, no, I might have been wrong on that there. I mean,
that dare, but he's like, so if you told them that you checked the bodies before calling 911, that would be you would have lied then or something. And he was like, when did I say that?
Oh man, if you guys haven't watched the behavior panels, couple,
yeah, they've got some. They break down some of the really.
I love them anyway.
Smaller parts that are worth like really stopping and thinking about.
But I think this was even better than the Amber Heard stuff, where it's like we're all watching, we're like something's like wrong. I mean,
they nailed him immediately.
Yes, but it's
the first 18 seconds of the first video of him, they all agreed this guy's full of shit.
This one even better because it was a little more technical, and they were able to nail. Whereas with Amber Heard, I felt like we could tell the behavior that was making us all feel like
drama
it was
queen
BS.
And oogie
and with him it was a little more subtle, but it's like learning about all these different aspects of like crying. It's like I didn't notice it. The whole thing in the police car of like, oh my God, he's crying so hard, and then he's feeling his fingers to see if there were any tears.
Yeah, and I don't think that's what it was. I think what he did was he was reaching up and he goes like this and he got something off of his nose and he's like getting it off there because then he grabs the napkin.
Well, but then they pointed out too, he's just been in this bloody ass scene. Didn't say at this point that he changed clothes or anything. Yeah. He's in a white freaking shirt.
No blood.
No blood. But more importantly, he's talking about rolling people over and what kinds of parts of their body that were no longer in their body, and are on the floor. All these other things. But I thought it was brilliant when they said he's got a white napkin. Same napkin the whole flipping time.
Yeah.
Never once does he look into that napkin to see if he's got blood,
Yeah.
I mean, it's bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah, both of those are really excellent breakdowns because the first one they do on the behavior panel is the car when he's sitting in the car with the capos, and you could tell that the one cop that's in the driver's seat, he's just getting tired of this guy. He's just like, man. And so the cop that's in the back seat lady starts asking him questions to take over. She's like, this guy's full of Padookie. But no, that
was quick. And I'm just, I have to say though,
all
your jokes aside though, no, I feel like, again, it's in my community post, the look on Buster, because by the way, shortly after that, he had that freaking look for like a solid minute, and then he did start crying. There were tears. Yeah, Buster started crying.
Buster did.
Alec never cried. Buster starts crying. Why? Because that, I'm telling you, the shield, it's just like night and day. You have to picture it, right? So there's people in chat that are kind of explaining their own hometowns and things like that. When you have that sort of privilege, the money, the power, the kind of above the law attitude, the I'm going to get out of whatever because I've got my dad and my uncles and just the family name carrying that much. Most of us just can't identify with that. And I'm going to say it again. I don't think the jury can identify with that. And coming from the same town, there has to be some built-in resentment. Listen, everybody inherently, as human nature, I think, if you felt like somebody had gotten away with something forever, I don't think even resentment is the right word, but inherently it brings up sort of the sense of justice that you're hoping for. And that is going to build resentment in certain people in the community. So I just think that it was like, do
you think he acted alone?
Yes.
I do too.
There is a reenact, in fact, and it's from TikTok, so I think I can play it. The only thing I'm worried about is there's like an animated gun. What do you think?
Yeah,
I mean, it's clearly a reenactment, but
yeah. Oh, you get
deciding. I'm like, it doesn't fire, it doesn't depict. But it shows with like sticks looking thing.
Yeah. Pow.
Let me pull that. I want to show it. So yes, I do. And I think, and actually the reenactment in the rebuttal case depicted almost the same thing. But this one's interesting because it actually shows entry wounds and how it could have played out in under 2 minutes.
I can see that, Sugar Beat. I can see where they would think that picture of the grandfather was taken out of the courtroom for the trial. I could see that because that'd be something that would influence a jury.
Yeah.
Becca Chu thinks that he had help. Now, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. There's always that possibility, but too much of it puts him right there the entire time with all of these steps that he's walking around that he can't account for, and all he could do is pull a fixin' to. Yeah. No, I was preparing to go to Mother's. Well, what were you doing to prepare? I said I was preparing.
Oh God! Well, his whole, I mean, so here's a good question.
248 steps.
Do any of us think that he did himself any favors getting on the stand? I don't think he did.
No, and I love the fact that I know he probably insisted on it because he's a prosecutor with all the touchdowns.
You know what's interesting? I'm not going to take credit for this, right? I'm going to give credit where it's due, which is over to oh shit! Why am I going to forget her name?
Amber Heard.
Just on the tip of my no.
Oh.
Linda Bodden. I just can't remember the middle of her name. But she was pointing out to some of the legal heads that no, because he took the stand, he waived. This is part of why defense attorneys don't want their clients on the stand, is because it also greatly minimizes the points of appeal. Because now there's an argument that whether this was wrong or that objection should have been sustained on that. The point is that there has been the defendant on the stand where anything could have been addressed. Mm-hmm. She explained how it just drastically reduces a lot of the issues that make a case eligible for appeal, or that can become points of appeal. So it's shooting himself in the foot, but of course he's going to want to do that. He was, lawyer, prosecutor, he's going to want to do that. Let me pull this up. Do you want to mute our mics, baby?
What do you got?
I have the thing.
Audio going?
Yeah, it'll have audio, so I'm going to share the screen, and I think that'll get the audio through to them.
Okay, I'll do it.
Off of a TikTok video.
Well, thank you, Matheson. Oh, thank you, Izzy.
Cindy McCord is the channel.
Taking a video at 46. A few minutes later, he was walking to the feed room. He's texting a friend and reads his last text at 8:48:59. Seconds later, the first shot is fired. At 8:49:01, his phone is forever locked and never used again. Blood drips from Paul's left arm as he staggers to the door. The gunman, thinking he had killed Paul with the first shot, goes to get his other weapon, but is shocked when he senses Paul by the door. A second earlier, Maggie at 8:49 reads her last text and is interrupted by the sound of gunfire. She turns to run back. The gunman grabs his gun and runs towards Maggie. As she approaches, she sees Paul on the ground, but the gunman stops her. Let's rewind this so we can see the pathologist's report. Now let's circle around and see the path of the bullets. Here we see the two entrant wounds, one here and another here. Around to the back, we can see those exit wounds. Now we can see those wounds, one here and the other here. Continuing on to the last illustration, we can see how she was shot in an upward direction, the bullet going through her breast and into the head, as noted in the diagram.
Crazy, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
He done it.
So, well, I thought it was interesting because I'm like, it accounts for all the wounds. So that is not, you know, it is based on the, facts in the case, but it's a hypothetical. But it sure does account for it. I mean, it's like, so I appreciated that you can in that little graphic or whatever, you can see that all it takes, so it's like if she's coming in the direction, she sees Alec with a gun, but then she sees her son on the ground. Mm-hmm. All it took was the slightest veering towards the son, like she's going to get ready to walk by Alec to go check on Paul.
Yeah.
That's all it takes to get the angles that were there.
Yeah.
So if anything, it showed that it could be one person. There's no denying it could be one person.
I think that the two guns thing was something he thought out in his brain to make it look like it's two people when he's pulling shit like, I need you to shoot me so it looks like I was mugged or whatever.
Right, well, we're not even talking about that yet. But yes, and when the police were coming, he's on the phone with 911 being like, hey, and by the way, I have a gun in my hand, So I don't know if people are here, So it's like he was already trying to account for residue and things like that. But it's like, they had a lot of guns, the two gun theory or, the two gun idea, because he's been convicted. So I'm just going to talk about it like it's the reality now. So him using two guns is something he would think of because it tends to lend itself to the thought that there's two people. So he's obviously not two people.
Yeah.
So, hey, I was over at Ma's house. I made all these phone calls. Two guns were used. Not one. I mean, these,
Yeah.
So someone who's thinking.
Which normally would have made a person even more afraid. Like, we need to rush out there and find out because this looks like a group of people are out to kill us, my family. I mean, it would have been, if it had been any of us, that would have been all we're thinking is go, go, go. Get a fucking helicopter out and start looking for people running through the woods with guns.
Another behavior panel thing where it's like, I mean, he sat there, he's like, and then I called 911 and she was good. You're giving fucking Yelp reviews in the middle of, a half hour after finding your family.
And nothing happened for a while. And then I turned him over, checked on him.
He drove me nuts. He just did drive me nuts. It's like, but that's the thing. Liars don't necessarily equal, we need another word, or Murdaughters.
Mm-hmm.
Murdochers.
Murdoch.
See what I did there? Punny.
You got Murdoch.
Yeah. What does this mean for all these other open cases? He's still got open financial cases.
He's got up to 700 years he can be sentenced for all of his financial shit.
They are still, for that.
Yeah.
Still investigate because they exhumed the housekeeper doing that. Ben confirmed Stephen Smith's reopened. Right. And I think that's why Buster Murdaugh's crying. That's just me.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about it here eventually.
Done him in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is y'all's PayPal accepting money?
And what's going to happen?
Hold on, voices.
Being a Murdaugh is now a bad thing. I mean, it just changed. It's not that it hasn't been changing, obviously. But, if he'd have been found not guilty. Because here's what I think. This is just my opinion. I think, he got up on that stand, you guys, and he ensured that he was going to spend the rest of his life in jail. I really think he wasn't all that concerned and didn't have that big reaction as they read off guilty. Because if you think about, people were confused about why Waters would be just so overboard on the financial stuff. Well, it's like getting to do a deposition in a civil case, only this is a criminal case, and you don't get that luxury. Right? And he's up on the stand under oath. They got everything they needed for that case. Mm-hmm. And he got up there and took the position that he was going to admit, he was going to sink himself for that. I really do think this was about making sure that Buster was there to carry on the family legacy. Wrap up law school, Yes, Dad's an
What if Buster was like...
Dad's an embezzler and all that stuff, but that's like one black sheep, right? It doesn't tarnish the whole name.
What if Buster was like...
Which, by the way, I think was the motive. Okay, I don't agree with this like financial motive, except for when it comes to Maggie. Because what they didn't do, what they chose not to do, is to discuss any of...
Thanks, voices.
Any of their marital issues. They didn't talk about any of that. They didn't talk about the fact that she's kind of like camping out at another residence more often than not, right around that time, you know, 2 weeks at the other residence. What they didn't talk about is seeing a divorce lawyer 6 weeks earlier. And starting to poke around in their finances. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about that all the properties are at least in half her name, and 2 of them were fully in her name. Her estate, because we already know this, because it's already went through, was worth over $4 million just in the property and stuff.
Yeah.
That then becomes his and then becomes Buster's. Now the family name, so money, yes, I think Maggie could have been financial. But I think Paul was about the family name.
Yeah.
And I can hang to some extent, but I did feel like it was flimsy to be like, oh well, he killed Paul and he killed both of them because it makes him more sympathetic in the civil.
Well, it's gonna be at this point, it's gonna be rife with conspiracy. I can't wait until
I agree.
We start getting the free.
Oh, thank you so much.
Free bus.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
People that are like,
I think we're gonna see a whole bunch.
Alex didn't do it. I've got proof. It was the Illuminati that did them in.
Thank you so much, Brandy, as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you. No, I think the Stephen Smith thing is going to be interesting. I mean, it's an open investigation. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's crazy. As weird as all this has been, and it's like, you know, engaging, I guess, as it's been. I think the more engaging part is realizing it's just the beginning. You know, so he's getting sentenced today for this. But it's like, no, he's still going to... There's still other stuff out there. There's still 2 open investigations that we don't know where they're going to lead. And it's unfortunate because I'm like, in the housekeeper's case, this is what sucks, you guys. Like, they're not going to recoup them. I mean, but Buster's broke. Here's the other thing, okay? Buster is broke. At this point, broke, okay? Because all these financial crimes are going to come with restitution. And he's just not immune. Now, if he gets hit with anything relating to any of the outstanding sort of family lore, conspiracy, fishy things, he still is named, by the way, in the Beach family's civil suit. But, you know, especially with Alec in jail now, I mean, because today I'm sure he's going to get the max. He's going to have life 30 years, you know, just on this. So the assets go to Buster. So he's got a whole heap of legal things on his plate. But these financial crimes are going to come with restitution. I mean, there's just not going to be any of that Murdaugh family, you know, in terms of Alec's family.
Well, maybe they could...
He already bankrupted out the legal firm.
Well, OJ has already reached out to him for some advice.
Oh my God, you should play that. Do you guys want like some comic relief for a second? Because OJ, you guys...
he's done 2 now.
I'm telling you now, if you're on Twitter, you're missing out if you don't follow OJ Simpson, okay? If only for his trolls. Because they make the funniest, like, punny comments, right? OJ couldn't help himself. He thought it was the Super Bowl. He had to make his picks, okay? Oh my God. I couldn't believe Crafton played this for me late last night. We were in bed and I'm like, oh my God.
Well, this is just I heard the first one.
I heard the voice and I'm like, is that OJ? I look over, he's on Twitter. Sure was. It's like, well, let's see.
Did you hear me? You hearing me?
Yeah. Let's see who he picked.
No, I'm saying this is the breaking news. OJ went viral because these motherfuckers are like, what? You are fucking weighing in on what?
I can't see, baby. How many views did he get?
Oh, I don't know. But that's my point is, see, 6.4 million views. He's come out with a second one today.
Of course he did.
Oh, I'm gonna keep
it because of what he says here. I won't spoil it, but he's like, so here's what it says.
Yeah, here he goes.
Let me read it. People keep asking me for my opinion on the Murdaugh case.
Yeah.
Well, it's me, yours truly. Well, a whole lot of people asking me what I think about this Alec Murdoch trial. I don't know why they think I'm an expert on it, but
because you killed people. All right, sorry.
I got to admit, when he took the stand, a guy who's an habitual liar, I did watch.
Well, you got to get some tips from him and stuff. Yeah.
When the trial first started, I watched him take the stand, and I thought it was probably a mistake because the guy.
And you thought to yourself, oh, good times, good times.
An admitted liar, and it's hard for me to think he can be on the stand 5, 6, 7, 8 days without lying. Question is, what did he lie about? But lying and stealing money is a little different than murder.
You would know, wouldn't you, Juice? You would know, sir. Thank you. Continue.
I realized in watching them testify what he was doing. He was just trying to relate to one or two of those jurors that he was a good old boy. He was one of them.
That's why you stared at Marsha Clark's ass and those people in the jury.
I'm not sure he didn't succeed in doing that. I am not qualified to really say if the guy did it or he didn't do it. If a jury.
Yet you're gonna do a video about it anyway.
Yeah.
Miss an hour of testimony, they no longer qualified. I've missed days that I haven't watched this. But from what I've seen, do I think it's more likely that he did it? Yes. But more likely equals reasonable doubt.
And you would know something about reasonably doubting things, wouldn't you there, Juice?
From what I know.
By the way, a moment of silence for Norm Macdonald, everybody. The greatest. Could you imagine what Norm fucking Macdonald would be doing with this right now?
I have to say there's a lot of reasonable doubt there. He's going to go to jail for all the thievery he did, stealing millions of dollars of people. I think he should be looked at.
Trigger warning. Self-pity coming.
Kind of like you did over stealing the OJ crap. Gotcha.
Yeah, let him have this moment.
About the death of his housekeeper a few years ago, where he ended up with over $4 million of insurance money. I think they should take a hard look at that. But it wouldn't surprise me in the least if this guy beats this case. He's going to go.
Keyword beats. Yeah. I think we all caught that. We all caught that one.
Beat your case there, Juicy.
Jail. He's going to go to jail for all the money he stole. I'm curious there because I got 9 to 33 years. 33 years because I caught some guy.
You know what? It is a laughing matter that you went to jail, right? Yeah, go ahead.
I was trying to sell my stolen property, and I yelled at him. Even they didn't think I should go to jail, and the judge gave me this Jackie Glass gave me
back
3 years.
So
I'm trying to see what this guy is going to get.
The Goldmans.
I know.
His ex-bestie wrote a book about it.
Yeah. Even they didn't think I should be stealing it. What, the people you're stealing it from?
I was up there with guys who had robbed casinos and robbed banks.
But you're an all-around great guy. You're just hanging out with people that rob casinos. Gotcha.
I'm a good guy.
And they had half the time or a third of the time that I got. So I'm always curious to see what kind of time these guys get for stealing millions of dollars. When I caught guys stealing my stolen property, the state of California.
And I got Walmart painting there behind my head that cost about $7.
I was convicted, ruled it was my property, and they gave it to me, so I have it now. So how do you go to jail?
What does Alec Murdoch's trial have to do with your fucking stealing your own property?
And guys who are trying to sell your stolen property. Well, nevertheless, I do think this guy more than likely did it. But once again, more than likely.
If he needs help writing a book about how he did it, I am here to help.
Right.
is tantamount to reasonable doubt. It would work against him in a civil trial, but I don't know if it's going to work against him in this criminal trial. Wouldn't surprise me.
No, the second one we'll watch all the way through.
I'm just saying. Take care.
All right. We got to at least see my comment. A lot of these are pretty funny. People are like, yeah, whatever. Saying, by the way, you belong in prison. OJ paying for Twitter Blue might be the funniest shit of all this. I like this one. This person said, why couldn't OJ get verified legacy? And in their response is somebody goes, he couldn't get convicted for a double murder. So how the hell is he going to get verified legacy? But what I said was, the crime you were accused of is so minuscule compared to this guy, Juice. I mean, how does killing his wife and child compare to you stealing some worthless OJ crap? But this is what's really funny, is now he's like, I'm viral now. I need to do a second one. Let's see. This one's a minute now. We got to hear this because none of us have heard this one.
Well, I just told a buddy of mine, we were on the phone, and we were talking about this Murdaugh case. And I said, well, I don't know. I think the guy might be able to get some reasonable doubt there. But I said, if the verdict comes back tomorrow, he's going to be guilty. If the verdict comes back next week sometime.
No way.
OJ's lying.
That means they're probably fighting, and there's probably some disagreement in it. One thing that I was told by the lieutenant of the sheriff's department when I was incarcerated in one of my cases, and
in one of your cases, right? Would that be the civil? Would that be the okay? Wait a minute. Okay.
After the police officers had testified in my case, all of the sheriff's department, they ran the jail, not the prison, but they ran the jail, and that's where I was being housed. They said, you're going home. And I said, well, how can you guys be so sure? They said, when a jury sees somebody as lying, especially police officers, they won't convict. And like it or not, those police officers, was pretty apparent that they were lying about stuff. Well, that seemed to be the case here with Murdaugh. The one thing that the jury must have seen is that the guy's a liar. And once the guy's a liar, you can't believe anything he says. Now, I thought,
we don't believe anything you say, Juice.
Said I didn't watch the whole case, so I don't know. I'm not qualified.
You told us that already.
Why are you still discussing one way or the other? Because I didn't watch it all. But I know the guy's a liar. It's hard for me to think that he could have been on the stands 5, 6, 7 days and without lying. And I guess that's the way the jury saw it. In any event, it's done. It's over. Down goes Murdaugh. I'm just saying. Take care.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm like, just when
gloating at this guy.
Just when I'm just full of shit from listening to certain people online yesterday and all like Alec Murdoch stuff. It's like, let's just throw some juice in there too.
First comment. Thanks, OJ. You're a great guy and never killed anyone. Oh my God, someone get OJ a job on Court TV. I'm kidding. Please don't do that. OJ's still spiking the football along with Ron and Nicole.
It's crazy, right? Punk Rock Girl. It's like, just because when I think, like, who would be?
Yeah, there we go. Now you're getting your people that you're like, you hit it right in the chest. Thanks for taking a stab and analyzing the verdict.
Every single one. You just have to look. And it doesn't matter because he does do kind of like benign ones too. Yeah. He'll like go live from his golf cart or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, they'll find a way. They find his trolls find a way to make it happen.
I think the real question you want to ask is, where was Alex Murdoch on June 12th, 1994?
Right.
I think he's the one that did it.
The OJ trolls are devoted.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking a stab at this analysis, Mr. Simpson.
We see you, Daria.
A lot of them are getting the same ones.
Google hates us all. That's what I think.
Yeah. You're truly a killer with the
Yeah, I
analysis.
swear, if you're on Twitter, like I said, it's worth following OJ. I only follow OJ. Well, sometimes there's irony in some of the things like this one, but it's always I always go right to the and I look for the trolls, because sometimes they really do have to stretch to make the puns work.
Yeah.
And that's where I get my.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to lead them into the crime you were accused of is so minuscule compared to what this guy did to his wife and child. So he'd be like, what? It's like, how the hell does murdering your family compare with stealing some worthless OJ crap?
Yeah, but no, the book by Mike Gilbert's pretty good. So I mean, he admitted to his wrongdoing. He suffered consequences from it. But he was a longtime friend, and did a lot of publicity work for him. But when OJ was in prison during the trial, he was the one who was like sneaking in ways. That's why there's these, to this day, there's this memorabilia that was signed by him in prison,
right? That's
worth way more than any of the other stuff at this point.
Yeah, but if he showed ownership of it, then it could be claimed by the Goldman family immediately. Correct. Yeah.
And so after the civil verdict, he's also the one who helped him hide things. So he owned these storage units. It's relevant because he's going to whine about this civil judgment and stealing his stuff back. Well, it wasn't his stuff. It was his stuff that he was shady and put in all these storage lockers and then eventually wasn't paying the bills on them and whatever. And so this guy's business partner is the one who ended up with them out in that hotel room in Vegas selling them.
Yeah.
Did you know I have like a thing? I want to say maybe Aiden got it for me. Because that dude that was selling it in there, at one point he must have been going through a hard time. He was like selling autographs for like $5 or something on eBay. I have one somewhere. He signs it. It was like a picture of him with OJ back when they were friends. And he signs it. I can't remember his name, but he signs it. OJ stole my shit. And then his name.
OJ said that or something?
No, the guy who was the one who ended up with the storage locker. It's not this guy. It was this guy's business partner. But it was just so fucking fun. I saved it only and because Aiden gave it to me. But OJ stole my shit.
No, I was telling. No, Daria, that's a LifeInTheRedKim win there. She was like, "Oh my god, if you're on Twitter,"
I'm like,
when she was like, "I haven't been on Twitter in a while." She go, "No, what you told me?" She go, "The only reason I even go on to Twitter is to fucking look at the funny ass OJ comments."
Well, it's true. Well, I started Twitter a while.
And I was like, why? Ago, what do you mean?
A while ago, I started Twitter because me and Aiden watched The Voice all the time, and that's how you could vote. So he would tell me how he wanted to vote, and I would do it on Twitter. That's why I started it.
How did you discover this?
But when OJ went on Twitter, it was like on Google that day and everything. So I followed him. Because he had all the troll, it was
troll comments,
and as the years have gone on, it's just never disappointed. And it got to be where there'd be months and months. I didn't.
Well, it's people with the same humor as ours, where you make the same joke again and again, and that's like the take a stab at it.
Yeah, it's always
so. There's people that's all they do is rephrase. How do you get the word killer job taking a stab at the analysis and shit like that over and over?
You get some novel.
Your daily dose.
You do get some novel ones, but it's like
like the one I did.
It's really when he's like going live from the golf course and he's like, I just tried this new drink in here and he does a lot
of stupid ass sports analysis.
He's
like, well, the Chiefs should have da-da-da-da-da. And so when they're going in and they're going, you took a great stab at that defense that the two of them didn't have.
The fantasy football stuff. But that's where I'm going to take a stab at it. That's like the easy low hanging fruit.
Right.
It's like you look for the ones that are higher up,
Well, that's where Norm Macdonald had
Norm was great
before he passed away. He still had the best when he was like the I can't remember the setup to it was something to do with the worst part about this whole thing is all of the lying or something like that. And he goes, I thought the worst part was the stabbing.
Yeah, it is Memphis Mama. Like if you change it, they only let you do it every 2 weeks now.
Who changed their channel? Oh, BHB. We don't know who you are for 2 weeks unless you announce yourself again. Wait a minute. Yeah. Now, did you change it twice? You can change it twice.
I'm bad at it too.
It's after the second time you can't do it again for 2 weeks.
I guess you're my social media manager, kind of. Not really, but kind of. I just never do it. I read something recently, though, on somewhere on here. I guess I didn't read it. I watched it. But it was saying, like, you should devote yourself to 2 social media platforms. And make the rest be, like, follow-alongs, you know, some, like, hook them up so they're concurrent. So in our case, like...
Yeah, back in the day, you had to use
YouTube. I don't know what yours is, but I'm like, I don't know what mine will be. I'm like, eh.
Well, you sign up for Hootsuite and you connect all your socials, and then you go into Hootsuite and make one post, and it'll send it out to all.
Right, but then that's what it's saying. But it's saying you still make one of them primary. So, for instance, whether it's Twitter, or Facebook,
and then you use Chimp Mail or something, and you can do a bunch of emails all at once. Same deal.
Back in.
So much hate and shit here. No one's really probably right. I mean, he probably got "I'm gonna find you and kill you with my own bare hands" type fucking messages for years and years and years. So he just looks at it as engagement. So now he got to wake up and see that he had a 6.4 million fucking viewed. He's like, finally, now I'll start slipping in stuff to do with my own case. Where he's like, yeah, the sheriff told me you're going to get off because them police officers were lying. Yeah, so I guarantee you now he's going to start dropping the if I did it type shit. I bet you.
Oh, okay. We know who Eva Rowe is. Is it Eva Rowe or Eva Rowe? Correct us.
Does Canva let you? Okay.
We'll mispronounce stuff for. I guess it doesn't matter now. It's just BHB.
Canva lets you post to several social accounts at once. I thought it was just for graphics.
Well, maybe you just didn't get to know it enough.
Well, I didn't take.
Well, you trace the
take a stab at it.
You trace the graphics, Crafton.
Yeah, I know.
Eva.
Graphical.
See, I was right. I was right and you were wrong. March isn't your month so far.
Yeah. That's
so interesting.
Oh, sorry. So schedule social media. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, Canva has taken over, man. That's actually a kick-ass little platform. I was very impressed with it. I was skeptical at first, too.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald had a delivery that was just, I mean...
He goes, this just in.
Can't be beat.
Murder is legal in the state of California. He was just not letting up. And this guy's now, ostensibly been fucking cleared. And you're supposed to respect that.
Well, so they applied some new rules on a backdated basis to Crafton's channel. And so he was in talks with them for a little while. It took what, like a month before they even gave you enough for you to understand like what it was. It was a Natasha thing.
Yeah, and I'm not sweating. I don't fucking care,
so
man. I'm loving Patreon.
Yeah, he's over
and
on Patreon
YouTube
now.
Can.
He's on Patreon.
YouTube, the institution.
My channel, like obviously his channel. I mean, we both had our own channels when we met. And I just hadn't.
And the Patreon has been a big help because it's.
But yeah, let me put the page. So he's over on Patreon. He co-hosts here with me, and then I do my own stuff the other time. But where is it? And actually,
I came up with a great example for all these loofah and
you've
bizarro
really become
types.
more comfortable over at my channel. You went from being like co-host that like is like, hey, glad to be here, to just talking. I'm going to say this as usual. Go ahead.
So the king of getting kicked off of YouTube is Alex Jones, right?
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, he's fucking got banned from everywhere. They kicked him off of Twitter. The only thing the guy's got is fucking website. Now he owes over $1 billion to all those families and everything. The guy's fucking morally and financially bankrupt. Well, so when it comes to like banned content, right? People will get hit if they run old Alex Jones shows, for too long. You're supposed to be doing it in like small snippets or whatever, blah, 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 right? So for all of you loofah types out there that think, Band of Vaders sitting over there on Crafton and Kim's channel, Go tell that to Joe Rogan, who spent 2 hours with Alex Jones as his fucking guest.
This is a
and it's at 10, 15, 20 million fucking views. And it's been up for over 2 years.
Right. Well, this is the thing, though, right? Is that we already got the clarification on this. Not just for us.
I'm providing a indisputable brick wall argument.
But for Broken Justice, there was, and we had to admit that we were wrong. Because we were saying, like, people that are having Natasha on
we thought it.
Yes, we absolutely believed
we
that.
We found out otherwise.
And we found out that we were wrong the whole time by saying, you know, hey, you're risking your channel by having Natasha up on your panel. No, she can go up on people's panels. She just can't have a channel.
And yeah, so I'm just saying, to provide the just kiss my butt argument, Google or just YouTube search Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, and tell us why Joe Rogan's allowed to have Alex Jones sitting on his channel for over 2 hours, smoking weed, no less, on camera, and then get back to us on who's ban evasion, ZC, rule breakings and stuff. I do not have a channel on YouTube.
Yeah. He just crashes mine Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. Bolton, don't say that, darling. We don't know if he's all right. Bolton and... look, all right, this is, y'all, hold on. We'll come up for a second. We just,
oh, God.
We got to get situated on the couch and, in one another's arms and everything.
Well, and that's the difference, right? Is Rogan had him up to discuss, correct? Or was he playing old content?
No, he had him just on his channel, right across the desk, just like us, facing one another.
That's how over YouTube I am, by the way, because heaven forbid somebody who's like, oh my God, let me report on the verdict in Alex Jones' case, and in any way played any of his content that's no longer on the platform, even if it's in like a commentary sort of way, fair use way, that breaks terms of service. And when they make these changes, they apply retroactively. That's what we learned. So, I mean, there's a reason Crafton's just sort of soured on the idea of even messing with it still. I mean, if I were to share my whole screen right now, you'd see that they have not, because we were in talks with them, they haven't permanently deleted his channel yet. It's still in my toolbar. And it's sitting there with 21 notifications that I can't get into.
Hey, y'all. So a lot of people have been asking what's going on here. So me and Bolton are doing good. Bolton, go ahead and tell them, honey, that we're really tired of like people saying stuff. So you just go ahead and tell them what you're. Oh, all right. Y'all don't say that. Whatever it is that Darius said there. What's that? A skull. Dead people don't need to be talked about like that. This is mixed, It's like some of them are living, some of them not. So that's just all I want to say. I got to go deliver some milk duds because that's we don't do the milk thing anymore. Bolton just runs around and hands milk duds out to the schools. And so anyway, thanks for letting us come on and clarify that. All right. Well, we're going to drop down and chat.
So let's just go there for a second, right? This is over in our Facebook group. Someone dropped a screenshot that I won't put up because it's got the person's username there, but it's someone said under one of Natty's videos, sorry that she can't give more. She's terminally ill. And then she tells her story. You know what I mean? People tend to open up. She's talking about how she doesn't have family left, and it's been hard to just save a little bit. I wish I could give more in some way. So I thought Patreon would help. So she joined her Patreon that she never goes on to. And I just don't have any more. Otherwise, I'd help you. I feel so bad. I wish I could, But she's talking a lot about her illnesses and stuff, right? Where it's like, what would you say to that, honey? Like, what would be your response?
So the person is saying this
underneath a video where clearly she was probably sad fishing or doing something for money. So she's explaining her whole like medical and family situation. She has nobody left and she wants to give her more. She joined and telling her, I joined I wanted to help in some way. So I joined Patreon because of course now she's paying Patreon fee per month. but just like profusely apologizing that she can't give more than that. But she wanted to, at least for Natasha to know that she joined her Patreon for this reason, and here's why I can't do more. So she's terminally ill and lost her family on oxygen, things like that.
And you're asking what I think.
What would you, if you saw something like that?
What would I say?
What would you, if you were going to comment back to her, what would you say?
How can I give this all back to you because you need this more than I do?
No. So instead, she or her mod deleted the woman's comment. This isn't a chat. This is a comment. Okay, so this person had gotten the screenshot beforehand.
All right.
Person came back to be like, I'm still on your Patreon though, Natasha.
Right.
She finally weighs in and she's like, thank you. Thanks.
What a fucking...
I mean, so life hasn't changed much over there clearly either. You know what I mean? It's sad. I mean, and I feel for the person, but it's like, I don't know, you guys. It's just people are who they are. It's, gosh. Hey,
yeah,
Country Joe.
I don't think she believes anybody though. I mean, you could use that as an excuse to just say, it's probably a troll.
But they're giving her, I mean, they're in her Patreon still.
If they're so hard up, then why are they online?
How do they pay their money? Well, that's true. You're right. That's kind of
you got time to sit.
But I just thought that was heartbreaking.
Fuck around on my shit channel.
I just thought that was heartbreaking. You know what I mean? They deleted it. The part where she's at least explaining herself and like all I can.
We better take that off because they'll use that against you.
That makes it look. Well, someone got a screenshot.
Well, it's either that or they're like, oh, that's a troll comment. They've been coming here. I looked at the account, and it's only 7 years old, so obviously it's not real.
It's only 7 years.
Yeah, and it's never subscribed to anything but you and every single channel you've ever had. Yeah. So they're obviously stalking you.
How are you today, Country Joke? It was a big day yesterday, you know? Memphis Mama multitask. She's so multitasky. I know. Isn't it strange that people feel that kind of obligation to her? It's like, listen, if people are in your Patreon, right? I don't know how much, but I if I remember correctly, it's been so long. I feel like hers isn't like, like low tier kind of thing. I feel like it starts out, so we're not even talking like, there's some people that have like $1, and things like that. So it's like, I feel like hers is, but for someone on a fixed income and stuff, it's like that. No, like everything is, I mean, that's someone's hard-earned money or a piece of their scarce money, No,
I know. Well, I mean,
higher percentage of their income than
she has no qualms about taking advantage of anybody in a distressed situation and just overlooking it whatsoever. I mean, look at how many times she would just start playing Dixie, calling her on the fucking phone and just pull it up and just let the poor woman sit there and have what's obviously, and then the same thing with Ms. P. Before anybody knew. All right. So just wipe away she's going to do this forever and change her channel name 8 kabillion times. Nobody fucking knew who it was. She's like, ow, let's watch her again.
Yeah. Yeah, Trisha. It's like, thank you. Well, and that's after she deleted the big comment that he actually explained her situation. I was just, whatever. But see, that's the other thing though. I think even Miss P, if Miss P read something like that, I can hear it. Oh, honey, you keep your money. She would. I think she would. I actually do think that Miss P would not want someone's money.
Yeah, because that waves a flag immediately. Like, no. You.
I mean, I can almost hear it in my head, you guys. She'd be like, "No, we all had. It's hard for all of us, but thank you anyway, hun," or whatever she calls. I can't remember now what she calls people, but.
Or if you want to like not make them feel bad that you're not accepting the gift, you would say, what is your PayPal? And then like double back to them so that they get what they gave you. But then now you're giving them.
Brandy just said it. It's like, you could just be like, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then be like, I really do appreciate, something. It's just bizarre. So I was a little taken back by it, and that's just because I'm like, if someone shares that, but you're right.
Then there's also, you could ask them, do you mind if I share this with everybody else? And then,
please, you're way out of
she would.
Reality
well, regardless, you could say, do you mind if I share this with everybody else? And you know, if the person's okay with it, then you go, look, this is the kind of good people that actually exist in this world, and other people would seek out to donate to that person.
Oh, well, that's what she doesn't want. So I was like, that's where you're leaving.
No, she does not want that. That's why I'm saying, regardless of her, I'm saying that's an option in life.
Been a very long time since we've even like thought about it, so I'm like, maybe your memory's failing you. But you
no,
she would never risk somebody donating to someone else. That wouldn't happen.
I know, but I'm not. Her out of the equation.
But you know, the acknowledgement at least, like, see how
because
nice
it takes courage to even say that or something to a certain extent. Now you could say that it's not. I mean, it's somebody trolling and trying to sympathy.
And she would think that,
and she would because that's what she does. Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah,
I agree. Yes, no. That $5 or whatever her lowest tier is, that can't go elsewhere. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at least some acknowledgement. I was with you there. But then I'm like, I thought you were taking it into like, maybe we can,
No. But you would, but it's something where because you would be doing that to encourage your own people to donate to you. You got to look at this. Oh, I got a donation.
You're such a sucker. I just realized looking at the screen that you put Ray's thing back.
Yeah, we got to be able to see Ray watching
He's been a love muffin all morning. He came in at like 6 a.m.
Okay, here's the reference. She took the comment off, and I went, does anybody remember what movie that line is from? Look, just be yourself. Baby, I'm doing
sorry.
something.
Go ahead. I don't know which one it was.
I had to hunt for it too. Dang it.
Listen, too many producers and this. Oh, well, okay. Jeezeless.
See if anybody remembers that line.
Oh, you had your own. He's mad that I took his own comment.
No, I'm doing something.
Ahead.
You
all
are.
Right, I'll be quiet. I'll feed the squirrel.
You're all sugared up over there.
I did. I had cinnamon toast for breakfast. Not the cereal, just the toast.
Oh, I was about to say we got cinnamon toast crunch.
No, sorry. That's why I corrected myself right away. I'm like, no, not the cereal yet, honey.
Yeah, it is deep, isn't it, Daria? Now this is all right. This is said while Ben Stiller is in this outfit. He goes, "Look, just be yourself, because that's what's cool." When they're all dressed up in Starsky and Hutch. There you go.
So cute. He's like floofy doofy. He's so cute. It's like I realized
they cut to the bartender and he's like, oh.
Can't get too attached to these squirrels because they seem to like migrate. It's like a new crop. But this fluffy one is awesome. Fluffy. He's a boy too. I don't know how fluffy works for that, but that's what I call him. Which one did I pin? Yeah, her going at. I mean, we haven't tuned in at all. So the MRB thing, I don't know.
Yeah, she is boring as shit now. I mean, she just, I think she just does the MRB thing because she's fucking easy content. It's a watch party. It's not even her analyzing.
That's a good way to put it. It is.
There's no new information coming out of her mouth about MRB.
Country joke. NC used to be my darling.
She's not my darling now.
Oh my
it's
God.
A country joke. It took it home to the place I bloom.
See if anybody freaking thinks that for what
West Alberta.
All this hoopla yesterday about people rush into hate bond. No, actually, at the time, I'm over here being like, listen, I can't hang with it. I'm not trading my country joke for Country Joe. Nah. It's not happening.
No, not doing it.
Used to be my darling.
Used to be my darling. Now you're not.
It's a song.
Go the fuck
that
away.
That is a country song waiting to happen.
Get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm. We need a Murdaugh song too. I think it's for views too, and I think she has to. She can't survive without a nemesis. I mean, this is just my personal opinion, right? I think she needs the nemesis for the grift. You know what I mean? Like, that's what brings it in. She has to be able to, throw her weight around and simultaneously switch to playing victim when as needed. Like the formula. That's just my hypothesis. I also just think she's insanely jealous of MRB.
That
you know what I mean?
That is Gerber Jack. That's what the GJ stands for. Like Gerber baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Gerber Jack.
I don't get it. Oh, okay. Never mind. It took me. God, you guys see? I'm not
Gerber
lying.
Jack kept buying up all the
I'm
makeup
not
because nobody
lying.
bought it, and she lost 60 people on her on her criminal channel. True criminal channel. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do true crime.
I remember. Does anyone remember
Ask
that?
Voices about that one. We all laughed our ass off on that clip. It's like, did she really just fucking say? But I don't want to do true crime
because they're like, well, why don't you just go to Facebook? I
don't want to do true crime.
I don't want to be on Facebook. It pays what penny. I just want my YouTube channel. Well, you got 35 of them now, so
yeah, I guess
it works out, you know.
Gerber Jack has got like endless or a bottomless pocketbook.
Oh my, Trisha,
I need to make Gerber Jack.
Isn't it sad? This is the thing, right? So for us, God, I mean, over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Over a year and a half, and it's still the same. Like literally, we've seen it a million times, played it a million times when we were there. Like it's just, I don't know, you guys.
Played what a million times?
The one of Carolyn walking to her truck.
Yeah, how many fucking times are you gonna watch her walk up to the dollar store, and when you yourself have to be helped out of a fucking car?
Yeah, right. I mean, because when I think like good hero villain stories, I think of two women of their age on YouTube, and it's just right. Like the casting is lovely. I mean, it's silly, but I do think that is the formula. I mean, it's what a lot of them are patterning themselves after at this point.
There's Gerber Jack.
Oh, the only.
What up, yo?
I forgot you made.
Let me buy some makeup off you.
There you go.
Later.
He never got to do. I don't think he ever got to use.
I finally have a place to use Gerber Jack.
Yeah, it's not. Nope. There you go.
That used to be Thuggy Gerber.
Sugar beat. Ding ding ding. Yep.
Hi, I'm Thuggy Gerber. Let me buy some makeup off you.
Gerber Jack. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I also did one with a big joint coming out of his mouth, and someone said, "No, that's too much."
Isn't that? I mean, but take that in. Isn't that sad? I mean, that's it's true. And when you think about the fact that like she's, she'll harken back to like single mother days and things, but that's not the case anymore. It's not the case anymore. And she lives with someone who pays the bills.
That's the homie. Yeah. It's not.
I mean, it's just greed. It's greed, and people are like, people want to give her their money. Well, it's like there's truth to that, and I do believe in that. I mean, I don't think people should be counting other people's money, all that kind of stuff. But that's not the problem. The problem is the deception. It's like when you're emotionally manipulating people under false pretenses, when you're taking money from people that don't have it. I mean, that's Jim Baker stuff, And she ain't no televangelist. Okay. Okay, DJ Beatloaf. Oh, Lord help me.
I like Funyuns. Corn nuts. Funyuns. Corn nuts.
We got to get you a good
Fornions.
beat on the soundboard, baby.
I just said fornions. Fornions.
Well, yeah, I mean, have we not?
It's hard to do.
Haven't you learned anything on YouTube anymore, honey? You don't have to pronounce things correct. That's not true. A requirement. It's just not. It's not a requirement. Funyuns. Let's see. Do I have any dope beats in here? Oh, here we go.
Crunchy beats is what.
Crunchy. Here's some crunchy beats. Here you go. Headphone warning. Country folks. You be my darling. They're not more. I don't know who my darlings are. That was anymore. I do that's all I know to you. I love you. Your breath won't ever unlock me. So I guess I'll just go back for now.
The unicorns are appearing. You should have just gone to the game crib.
You're so weird. I care too. Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, look. You should have just gone to the game, Chris. We
Hey!
Ain't seen them in a while.
How are you? Yeah, PTL.
Life in person.
Yes. Oh, I did. I saw that.
Didn't they start...
Trisha, I got to load it up on this thing so I can slide it across the screen
what
like
was the
that.
Name? What was the name?
It'll
of the
take me a
place
minute
that
to do
started?
that.
They did like a Disneyland for Christmas. I cannot remember the name of it now. The Jim Baker. Oh God, it was like Christian Wonderland.
Oh, Jimmy Baker.
Something I can't remember. It's one of those little needless things that'll bother me until I can remember. Life in prison. There we go.
Yeah.
There's a sentence on this.
Well, we swore we
I'm
would stay
sorry.
live until he was sentenced, and there you go.
On dis one dare dough.
Well, but
Yes.
all right, look here, Bunster, you're gonna have to do all the heavy lifting now.
Good. Life.
That's a dicey meatball.
What is it, Kenny? What's it right above your head? Here's a piece of meat.
No pearl. Yeah. That's great. How's little man doing? He's a nap fighter.
Nap fighter. He's like,
I don't want to be asleep.
Yeah. Aiden was like that for a while too, but he was actually kind of quiet about it. He was a great baby. It was like reverse stuff. Like the older Aiden got, the more.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like a super easy baby. He never wanted to sleep, and there were days he wouldn't. He would just lay there in his.
I know there's a lot of times
around.
you try to get me to take a nap, and then I'm just fighting it.
I
and
never
you get
listen.
really lit.
Listen, old man.
You start
I don't
screaming
have
at the top of your lungs, "Gotta sleep!" And I'm like, "This is not
listen,
helping."
we don't even sleep in the same bed.
We don't even sleep in the same room.
This is so hilarious.
We know that.
I love learning things about
I know.
this. Don't you love that?
Well,
Please. I wish sometimes with your snoring.
Yeah. Well, if I get sick, maybe. I don't want to infect you.
I'm just waiting for it to be like, he lives in the garage. Wasn't that Natasha's?
Yeah, he lives down in the basement.
Yeah, the basement. That's what it was.
Yeah, and you were like, here's our basement, and nobody can fit in here.
Right. That's like the
fucking
storage room,
yeah. Here, I'll show you all the. This is yeah. That's taking it too far. So yeah, we couldn't do mega thuggy baby there. So we mega thuggy Gerber baby, but yeah, the other one is
yeah. I just want Bubba and the chicken to be okay. That's all.
Yeah, well, I mean, Glenn and Trisha don't even sleep in the same state. That's the point that their relationship's gotten to. Look at that.
I'll do a live here eventually, Trisha. I'm just got to get myself. There's certain things to talk about and certain things to not. But it's like, if you heard any of it yesterday, we don't sleep in the same bed. I mean, this is what I don't understand. It's always people that haven't talked to you and have no part of your life that try to tell people as though they know. I'm like, are they proclaiming to be clairvoyants?
No, she's had factoids drilled into her DMs by Snother Fuffles.
Is it the memory? No, it's him and Sarah that didn't sleep with the same bed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She's got cross-pollinated with the shit that Snother Fuffles is feeding her to say.
Well, I just thought that was hilarious. I'm like, well, if you're in a different room with that snoring, we might need to get you into doctors. I wouldn't be able to sleep without you.
I know, but I mean, what are they going to do? Take my nose off? How does that work?
No, they'll test you for apnea.
We got a remover for his nose, and he'll stop him on snoring.
They test you for like sleep apnea.
And
then I'll have to sleep next to you with that man.
Yeah, sleep clinic.
You have to trade the snoring for the constant airflow sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I heard that about Trisha and Glenn.
Oh, I should have known that.
Somebody was talking behind y'all's back and told us that you and Glenn aren't even in the same state. And it's like, well, they're fucking spiraling then. They aren't going to be together much longer.
porches.
Just like, you get over there, I'm going.
It must be the vegan in me, sugar beet. I'm like, I do remember. Yeah, the chicken died.
Oh shit! Yeah.
It's nature, you know.
Yeah, natural order of things.
Aw, yes. I haven't checked since we've been
Memphis
alive.
mom sent some squirrels food.
But
I did
because
41.
I knew.
Doing life without parole. I saw that go by, and that's all I'm thinking is Merle Haggard. Mama tried. What is it? Paw tried. Max tried.
Mags.
Yeah.
All his pet names. Yeah, the
Roro tried.
The behavioral panels analysis was just, I think it was the best one I've watched of theirs. Probably both of them actually.
Both of them are
up at the top.
Back to back. They were
when they pointed out these the use of these different nicknames and things, how that had not been anything until
yeah. He said that just to appear as though they're endeared.
Well, maybe because they were pointing out some psychological tricks that, in my mind, I'm like, I would have never thought of that.
I liked one of them where there was so when he works himself up to tears and he knows that he doesn't turn his head fully away from the jury. He starts eyeballing the prosecutor just like a stalker, moving his eyes over instead of his whole head. Yeah. Because he knows he wants the jury to see that he was emotional. Right. And I was like, yeah, that's some Amber Heard shit right there.
Yeah, and it was really good. I mean, I just highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Either one, both of them. Because the one they did on the police cam was just equally as... Mm-hmm. But the one of him on the stand was like, yeah. Uh-oh. We got the... Are you going to play something?
No, you don't have to announce it if I pick things up.
Oh.
Man, just look, man. You know what? Look.
Look,
just because we made love for 12 hours...
Ray.
Did I give you the right look? I'm gonna mute in a minute.
Ray's
but I just want you to what? Oh, see, that's the new thing is I'm saying all that and then I'm going to mute.
He's so cute. It's like you guys talking about me. Y'all are talking about me. I can tell. Stop talking about me. Here, while you're doing that.
Cash's butt and tail put Alec at the kennel. Cash, see.
Oh, I left him on the stairs, baby.
What? Cash's butt and tail put Alec at the kennels. Cash is the chocolate lab. Come on, Sugar Beet, put it out there. Come on, girl.
Like you can hear her.
Died. Sorry, Kim. I'm only singing words that Sugar Beet chats.
Oh, only Sugar Beet.
Yeah, this is the Sugar Beet song. Sugar Beet and me have been, not Sugar Beet, not. Sugar Beet and me have been working on this tune here.
Is there?
Yeah, this is it's Sugar Okie is what she wanted to call it. And I said, no, this here's real songwriting. You know, Sugar Okie. She's like, what about Beaterokie? And I was like, what the fuck are you? It's not even a word. She said, well, karaoke ain't a word either. They do that. And I was like, well, neither is Haagen-Dazs. There ain't no fucking thing. That's made by Hershey's. You know that? Ain't even from Dutch. Or Nordica. Said it was wait, what? Sweetica or some shit. Sweetica. All right, that was a good one.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
When's the album?
I'm eating.
When's the album coming out?
Sugar Beet gets writer's block a lot, and so to get over that,
she'll just grab something to munch on. And so I
God.
guess, that's what's going on there. So, but yeah, we did a live version of that. And, you know, it had
Oh, you're on
yeah,
applause.
that
I'm
was
sorry.
the live version.
I didn't have the sound machine here. I'd have given you applause.
Yeah.
I keep seeing a meme go through my streams where it's like 2023's #1 selling engagement ring, and it's like an egg on a ring.
Yeah. What was that the judge said about the one juror that got dismissed took her dozen eggs?
Yes.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
He did. He said like she came in and took her dozen eggs and I'm like,
and went what over to something.
Her dozen eggs. I don't know.
That's the mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sugar Beet caught it too. See, that's why me and Sugar Beet and me make a good songwriting team.
Maybe they're paying them their daily fees in eggs.
Fucking eggs. They're like, here you go. That's $5 an egg, son.
Collected her dozen eggs, or maybe just that day. Maybe someone brought them in from their farm or something. I don't know.
Instead of 30 pieces of silver, it's like 30 eggs.
You don't get your $7 today. You'll just get your dozen eggs. It's worth more.
You'll get your 30 eggs for betraying me.
Help me. I didn't even think about that. Just said it. Yeah.
That's a mean
that
way
was
to happen.
Bizarre. I mean, I thought it was bizarre when he said it, but I'm like, maybe she brings hard-boiled eggs to eat every day. Who knows? But
maybe.
There you go. Someone had.
She brought eggs for the jury, and then when dismissed, she took them home.
Okay.
Ah.
Wow.
Why'd she bring eggs for the jury? That's weird.
Well, she probably has chickens or something.
Oh, they are down in that country.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. No, they would. No, that totally would.
Well,
you'd
isn't
have
that a
too
statement?
many because they're not buying them.
And I'm taking my eggs with me.
Well, I would have probably left them, but I guess maybe they were like,
that's what I mean.
We don't like her.
That's like a statement. No, she brought them in for the other jurors. So when she got dismissed, she's like, never mind. Took them with her on the way out.
Take my eggs. Yeah.
Maybe she shouldn't have been talking about the case. They were down to one alternate. Imagine if they'd have I knew it was low, but I didn't remember exactly how many. But I'm like, yes, they were down to 2. So that's why when I heard
Sugar Beet just writes so put. She brought eggs for the jury, and then when dismissed, she took them home.
That's right.
She, the bailiff, go get them. Okay, that makes sense.
She actually was like, listen.
Told the bailiff
you need to go back to that jury room and give me my damn eggs back.
Well, then the bailiff is laughing and the judges.
Well, that's why the judge knew it. He says,
yeah. That's why he said that. That's pretty pimp. I like that.
It's pretty pimp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Because he publicly shamed her onto everybody's watching that trial. And now they all know.
You know, I want to go
somebody
back and
had to take their fucking eggs. But he said a dozen eggs.
Yeah. Did he crack a smile?
Well, that's why I thought it was weird. I thought it meant something.
So every juror was going to get 1 egg?
Oh, there you go. Dozen eggs.
Not the alternates.
Yeah.
But every juror. Yeah. Oh, that is so petty. Petty. I love a little petty.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember now. Was he did he smirk or anything when he said it? I would have if I'd have known the story.
No, but he was definitely in relief mode that the fucking trial was over. So he was.
Right, Sugar Beet. It's like, oh no, honey. And then he announces it. It's like the inside joke for all the jurors.
Bitch.
You know the jury at least snickered on that one.
Yeah,
I thought it was very nice that he acknowledged the alternate juror that had to go sit by herself.
If the judge's house gets egged, they'll know who did it because it's too expensive for anybody else.
Nobody else is egging houses.
Like no, we're gonna save these. God. I went to egg the house and Paw beat my ass on that one because that cost us $70.
Damn, it's expensive.
Yeah,
egging that house.
Yep.
TP it, but not
the fine was cheaper than the fucking the eggs were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, maybe she just shouldn't have been running her mouth. That's all. She's mad she got caught.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that she wasn't talking to another juror. I mean, seriously.
That could have been.
If she'd have been talking about it to 2 other jurors, there would have been an immediate mistrial. They'd be out of jurors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this was like a spectacle thing where people saw this go down or what?
Yeah, I'll have to go find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's interesting. We had so we had gotten maybe halfway through. Well, I did anyway. About 3/4 through the defense's closing. When Rose is like, "There's activity in the courtroom." Then before I could say what I was thinking, which is probably a question or asking about dinner or something, she's like, "They're probably just asking a question." And then it's like right away, she's like, "Verdict." I'm like, "What?" It's sad. That's my first thought. I'm like, I haven't even gotten to get through the closing arguments yet.
By the way, that picture that you took that you posted was from the second that it was announced.
Yes.
That was actually in progress. She didn't grab that off anything. She went snap with her phone right as they said guilty.
Yeah, that's like a
and
picture.
His eyes were all
a picture of the TV, and like I said,
cat eyes.
Well, I zoomed into him because they had 3 boxes. The person reading, Alec, and in the end, I ended up propping Alec's face out because I'm just like, no, the real one here was Buster. And like I said, so he stayed that way as they read through all the guilty. So that's right after the first guilty's read. But then he busted into tears.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that started crying. I didn't see any other family members cry. Alex certainly didn't cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
Maybe they were organic, free range. Right? She's like, I need them back. Oh, it's just so petty.
She had the expensive one. She had the good kind.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
So petty.
Back in. You're cool. She probably left 1 egg. You're cool.
Let them fight over it.
Yeah. You bummed me a Pall Mall that one day. Fuck all y'all. My little man's getting all these eggs.
Oh my God, it just makes the egg story so much better now.
That's the takeaway from the whole thing.
Taking my eggs.
Don't fuck with the egg woman. We should turn her into a martyr, like a hero. Don't fuck
with the egg woman. Just call her egg woman.
Yeah, don't fuck with the egg woman. And then everybody just start trying to buy eggs directly off of her and stuff. We feel your pain. You tried to be a good person and you slipped up and talked is all.
Oh God. Egg woman. Yeah, we got to come up with something better than that, though.
Well, you might know that's a Beatles thing. I am the egg man.
I mean, egg lady. That's like more like that's more like Southern respect, The egg lady.
Mizra's egg.
Now all of a sudden, she's the fascinating one to me. Where I'm like, well, so does she have like a farm? Did she buy them on her way in? Like, were they store
exhausting? Yes, truly. I don't know. Melissa, it makes me want to rush out and make a tribute page for her.
Make a Facebook group.
Sacrifices
for
that she made. Yeah.
The egg lady. Yeah, that'd be good. You should do that, honey. I'll join it. I join it. If you make it, they will come. Oh, I guess I didn't. I'm like, didn't I upload my... That's the face he was making. Someone just told Buster that the eggs are gone. No eggs for you. And he's like, what? Bus.
Yeah.
I know you were hoping that some of the jurors wouldn't want their eggs, so you could like take them home, cook them up for your girlfriend. But the juror took the eggs. What? Yes, she took the eggs. Ooh. All right, that's all I got on that. I love it. Now I'm dying to go look at Emily Baker's stream, honey. Yes. Well, that's a mouthful, Sabrina. I feel bad for Buster, unless he's also a murderer. It's true. I mean, well, so here, let me find my empathetic side. Like, I mean, he lost his family. Let's be real here. He did lose his whole family. He lost their pets. He lost the home. He lost the name. He's now saddled with that name and being the last.
And it's an odd name. It's not like a standard murder.
Whatever happens with the Stephen Smith thing, the suspicion will always just sort of be out there on him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's out there. It's in Netflix now. I mean, he's, there's whatever comes of it. Still an open investigation, I think, based on, like I said, having the high school teacher who says they used my room. There was a tutoring relationship. So this wasn't. A lot of media sources are being very cautious in saying they went to the same school. Some of it early on, like circa a year ago, would say things like they didn't run in the same crowds. But with this Netflix series, they're interviewing no, they had a tutoring relationship. They absolutely knew each other. They did spend time together. And then they had the ex-girlfriend, Paul's ex-girlfriend. I'm not even going to repeat what she had to say. But I found it sus when she brought up the rumors.
Yeah.
And their response. So he's going to have suspicion over him for a long, long time, possibly forever. And just in general, the name's tarnished, That's what I mean. It's like the whole thing just fell on itself, because I can think through if he was found not guilty. I mean, the financial, so he still would have been in jail for his whole life. But it's a lot different to just be that guy that embezzled all the money from the law, the family law firm. It's like he just would have been the bad apple in the legacy. The legacy would have kept going. And I think now it's just totally changed the connotations of the family name. That's how I feel. So what do you think, honey? You want to go find eggtasticism?
Yeah.
The eggtastic part of Emily D. Baker's chat history. I want to hear the rest of closing arguments, to be honest. Stay on top of the community tab, you guys, because I don't know tomorrow what's going to happen. I still haven't edited last week's Rust thing. I have to go in and blur out all of Hannah Gutierrez's reads, pictures where she's holding a gun. We're going to do an open panel to discuss it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now. I don't know. Because we're going to be doing Marathon Live on Sunday. We got to do it'll be subscribers only chat. It'll just be.
Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina, come in there.
Sabrina's been in here. Where have you been? So embarrassing. I'm sorry, Sabrina.
I don't think so.
I'm going to get you ginkgo biloba. It's ginkgo time.
Sabrina was gone and she come back.
Oh, she's gone. She came back. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Actually, great analogy. Yeah. Yes. Great analogy. I agree with that. So I'll probably put, once I powwow with Crafton to figure out time, I'll set up Sunday's stream sometime today so that people are aware it's there. Make sure if you're listening or if you're watching on replay that you're subbed, because being subscriber is the only way you're going to be able to chat. We're working out the lineup and all that for the day, but you'll be able to pop in anytime Sunday and we will be here. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I might still just go live and do the panel, but we'll see. I don't know. I feel like it might be better until I can get the video back up or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll. I don't even like to do polls anymore because people have ruined polls. I used to think it was a great feature, and now it just gets so ridiculously used that I feel like.
I asked a group of my friends, and they didn't like polls either.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I will Maybe I'll do my like community meeting, like messaging tomorrow, like talk about where we're at with stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Drama tomorrow. Drama without me swearing. That'll be real fun to try. It's actually not as hard. Like once you start enforcing your own boundaries, it's so much easier to not feel the need to even play back into name calling and stuff. Oh Lord. I bet they don't sleep in the same bed. See, let's look at this. Sleep in the same bed? Don't sleep in the same bed. Oops, it didn't go out there.
We actually we
have recliners.
We only have the one room, so I let Paul.
Oh my God! Don't say that. Oh my God! Crack me up.
Look, this is I forgot.
All right, yeah. Hee hee.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah. Hee hee hee. No.
All right, which song we gonna play it out on?
I don't know. I've been playing your other song. You got to give me the credits for it, though. You said I just have to put it in the description. Will you find it? Yeah. And then, because I can just go back it's been like the last 3 or 4 days I'm ending on that song.
Yeah. All right, we'll see y'all.
Have a good one, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll set it up. I think
he obviously needs some hearing aids.
Nah. So mean, make me cry, cut me off. I'll make the stream for tomorrow. So we'll do the drama stream tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then we'll see everybody on Sunday.
Right,
Thanks. Tried to contact you. We have some fucking titties, baby! Woo!
and getting them kicked out of their church.
What?
What?